Okay.
We're coming behind the
Oh
alternative school here in Moore. We're coming behind the neighborhood market, and we're fixing to cross Eastern. Just to the left is Eastern, right there on the left side of your screen is Eastern and 4th Street. The tornado just tracked just south of Eastern and is continuing pretty much eastbound right now. The next building you're going to see in the top left of your screen is the Brink Junior High. It came just to the south, or the south side of it.
Just missed
pretty much just trashed. I believe that's the gym or the area where the kids.
And we're going to briefly interrupt this coverage from KFOR to tell you about a new tornado warning. This is about 20 miles north of Tulsa. This is a tornado warning for Nowata, Osage, and Washington counties. You can see that there is a debris ball here with this particular storm. So another large and dangerous tornado that is now coming towards the Route 75 corridor. Looks like it's going to be moving possibly towards Vera and perhaps just south of Ramona and then more towards Ugla. And you can see here the very well-defined rotational signature that's now just on top of Route 11 and again coming towards Route 75. And it looks like we've got velocities there totaling somewhere around 120 miles per hour, something in that area, so 110 miles per hour. So again, another large and dangerous tornado. This is about 20 miles to the north of Tulsa, and the movement on this cell is off towards the east and northeast, getting it towards Talala at around 427 and about 433 in Jamestown. So additional dangerous storms across parts of Oklahoma right now. We're going to have more on this coming up in just a few minutes. Do we want to go back now to KFOR's coverage?
This is clearly much more massive in scope in terms of the damage. Geographical area, it's much, much larger. Let's go ahead and take a look at the storm tracker right now. Now, there are quite a few tornado warnings out. We have Mike Bennett on this one. He does not see a tornado warning right now, but it is heading for Meeker and Prague, just to the north of Shawnee. It's just north of I-40, near the Fire Lake Grand Casino right now. It'll track just north of the Shawnee Mall. That has a tornado warning on it right now. And also severe storms continue in the Midwest City area.
All right, I want to tell you more about some additional tornado warnings that are now south of Oklahoma City as well. Let's take a look at what's going on here on the Doppler radar. And you can see the storm. This is the storm that came through the Moore area, and right now not showing much of a signature on Doppler radar. So certainly that is some better news that at least we are not seeing much rotation on that particular cell. Let's take a look at some of the cells that are farther southward. Tornado warning now for Garvin County. That includes Brady, Elmore City, and also in Foster. You can see the hook echo right there, and I believe that this is the cell that our tornado hunt chase team is now following. That this is south of Oklahoma City and along 35 there, and you can see there is a rotational couplet right here on the southwest side of the cell. Also another cell off to the south of that, well off to the south, another tornado warning on that cell, and we can take a look at that. That is pretty far off to the south into the west and southwestern Oklahoma, and this tornado warning in effect possibly affecting Waurika there, as well as Ryan and Sugden, and that is in Clay and Jefferson counties. That is moving towards Route 81. But Brandon, if we could get back to that storm that is to the north of Tulsa, that is the most well-defined storm that we've seen. We had a spotter report of a tornado on that cell, and in addition to that, also looking at a debris ball here. So this is very much the same signature that we saw with that storm that came through Oklahoma City. This is a more rural area, but nonetheless affecting towns that are to about 20 miles to the north of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And you can see again a very well-defined rotational signature here that is now right on top of Route 11 coming towards Route 75. So if you are in the Vera area around the North 4000 Road and south of Ramona, now is the time to get to your safe shelter, as there is most likely a large and dangerous tornado coming your way. We look at it in 3D here. You can see the structure of the supercell storm, and then right in here, this is the tornado that is now again coming towards Route 75, about 20 miles to the north of Tulsa, and moving along towards the east right now at about 20 miles per hour. So it's been just a devastating day across, of course, just south of Oklahoma City. And there are ongoing tornado warnings, and so we may continue to see more of this kind of thing over the next several minutes here. And where do we want to go next, guys? Let's go back over to Kim and Kelly right now.
All right, Carl, we want to show you live pictures right now from our crew we're thinking this could be along Interstate 35 in Moore, Oklahoma, and emergency vehicles on the scene. Interstate 35 closed in Oklahoma City because of the tornado that moved right across it, taking a direct hit as it moved right across Interstate 35. And as you can see right now, this is KFOR. Right now looking live at some of the damage in Moore, Oklahoma, and a house fire, thinking this could be a house fire, maybe from a gas leak. And that's why they're urging folks, they're telling folks, you've got to stay home, stay where you are, do not go near this area. They need emergency vehicles to get in there. And already the interstates, the roadways are clogged with cars because they had all stopped trying to keep away from the tornado. Now they're trying to get emergency vehicles in here and they're having a hard time. So please stay away from this area. This is another reason why you need to stay away because of the gas leaks. And this could happen. And it's hard to get emergency vehicles in here. Fire trucks. Do you see a fire truck in there yet? It's going to be hard for them to get there. We're going to go ahead and listen back to KFOR right now.
We have obviously a plan on where we go because I'm never going to be there during a storm. So we got a storm shelter. She goes to it. She knows what she's doing. She did text me she's okay, so that's good news.
That's good, okay.
I've got some other friends and family here that are okay as well, and I'm hoping the same for the majority of these people right here.
Absolutely. I know a lot of your friends and neighbors are around there, John, and you're doing a remarkable job dealing with that emotion as well as trying to give us the facts and the scope of the damage there.
Has the situation...
Yeah, you see, Kevin,
Go ahead, John.
Go ahead, Linda.
Has the
I was
situation...
going to say, as you can see, that fire right there is just completely engulfing that house, and fire crews can't get there because they've got more important things to do than put out a house fire. One thing that we hope doesn't happen is these houses are, they're probably about 8 to 10, 12 feet away. Well, they're more than 8. They're probably 10 to 12 on that one right there we're showing you. I'm hoping that it doesn't spread to that and then just kind of leapfrog effect. I'm looking back behind us, and there's some heavy rain, but I think it's going to go north. But as you can see, the fire crews are so wrapped up in making sure everybody's safe and trying to get everybody out that they're just letting the house completely burn. That's how the devastation here. You know, you can't even do your basic job because you're doing so much more and trying to help everybody out. This is definitely some of the worst damage I've ever seen in my life, and I've been to a few Middle Eastern countries. This is especially when this is your hometown. This is where you're from. It's hard to see all this, and these houses are just gone. I mean, the foundation, there's trees, there's nothing. It's just bare ground. It's ripped completely. It's ripped the grass up even. And if it could have ripped dirt up, I'm sure it did. I bet you the elevation's a few inches lower as this storm just tracked from Newcastle all the way to almost Draper Lake there.
You know, we become somewhat cavalier, John, when we hear these tornado warnings because you live in Oklahoma, it happens all the time. But when you see the devastation like this, and of course the damage that we saw in yesterday's tornadoes and storms, it reminds you, you have to have a place where you can go underground. It's simply not enough to be in a closet anymore when storms of this magnitude scour their way through our towns and communities and families and neighborhoods.
Well, that's so, and I just put together a story about a fellow who and his family jumped in their closet yesterday with that big tornado that went through. It didn't do much good because the house was picked up and turned upside down, and they're all in the hospital now. So what you said is a very good point. It's amazing that the Warren didn't sustain more damage there, John.
He's talking to
he's got a lot going on up there.
Tony Beverly. Tony Beverly runs one of our live trucks. Let's go to him right now. Tony, tell us first of all where you are and what you're seeing.
Well, Linda, I'm here off of Southwestern. I'm in between 134 and 149, Southwest 134 and 149. I'm over here near the Orr family ranch, and there's just so much devastation over here. Horses everywhere. There are dead horses. There are structures that are on fire. There are structures that are gone. Trees have been uprooted out of the ground. There's fires all over the place. So it's very chaotic out here at this time. I have with me the owner of this Orr family farm with me, and he can give us a little bit more assessment as to what's going on out here in his area as far as his farm is concerned. And so if permitted, I'd like to ask Miss Dr. Orr here a little bit about what's going on.